Joe, last 4:44, you guys gave up 19 points after taking a 7-point lead. What did you see in that stretch that led to that?
I think there was a couple of transition baskets that we gave up, either from just not crashing through the right lane or them getting out ahead of us and getting that. Gave up an offensive rebound 3. And then, Maxey dribbles under the basket, hits Barlow in the corner. Barlow hits the Grimes. He gets a catch and shoot 3 from there. So just a breakdown in some of our defensive stuff, and, we just have to be better.
Is there, obviously you just came out of the preseason, and there are timing issues, there are chemistry issues, things that kind of lead to maybe, you had a few illegal screens in there. Is it just like a timing thing
I think, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're looking at the relationship between the ball handler and the 5-man and setting up screens and whatnot. But, I mean, those are going to happen the entire season, just with the physicality of the play and trying to set screens. So, yeah, it's not like the rustiness of the first game. It's just something that we have to continue to be great at. But a couple of those are going to happen because of the physicality of the game.
Joe, what were you looking for on the last possession? 2 looks for Peyton there. What were you looking for?
Just looking to get the ball into our playmakers' hands and make a play. So we got the ball into the paint, got a decent look, and, that's all you could do is get it to those guys, and they gave us a chance to win.
What was your takeaway from the offense, the way it functioned in this one, as guys settle in the new roles and things like that?
I thought the pace at which we played was decent. I thought our spacing was relatively decent there. Just have to continue to create advantages, but for the first game I thought it was pretty good.
Joe, it felt like in the third quarter your guys' pace really worked a lot. Like, you got a lot of transition opportunities, and you've talked about the relationship between that and your defense. It was an 18-point quarter for Philly. Was there a shift in that in the fourth quarter that you noticed that led to their big quarter, or was it other stuff on defense?
I mean, if you give up 42, you probably give up a little bit of everything. I think lost Maxey on a couple pick and rolls where we went under instead of chasing him over, getting him inside 3. Again, a few transition opportunities on whether it was a live ball turnover or not, the byproduct of not getting an offensive rebound, and then offensive rebound 3s, and then some shot making by some of those guys. So when you give up that many, it's probably a little bit of everything. But we just got to clean up some of those things.
Joe, just curious what your thoughts were with Jaylen Brown tonight. It didn't look like he maybe had his full explosiveness, and also it seemed like he did embrace the role of being a playmaker.
I thought he had his explosiveness. I thought he played well. I thought he gave us started the game on Embiid, gave the game what required. I think he'll continue to get better and better. But I thought he played well-balanced basketball on both ends of the floor.
Joe, what do you take away from this one? I mean, the last 4 minutes seemed to be kind of where everything went haywire. And
yeah, I mean, you take that again. It just goes back to the process of winning. It doesn't matter. It's the transition opportunities in the first half. They had 18 points. I would say 40 to 50% of Maxey's points came in transition and at the free throw line, and so. He's great at that, but you have to be able to do that, and it's just the details, It's the transition defense, it's the timely offensive rebounds, it's the execution, just all those things that go into winning, and they're habits that you just have to continue to fight for.
Edgecombe is his first NBA game. He scores 36. I mean, how difficult is it scouting for a guy who's never played, and then you don't expect him to? I mean, that's just kind of out of the blue.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a really good player, and again, he scored. Hit 5 threes, got to the free throw line a little bit, but got a lot in transition, and he's just a good player. So it's a credit to them, and when we play them, we have to be better at defending them.
Joe, you guys were able to force 13 turnovers in the first 3 quarters, just 1 in the fourth. What went different there?
I mean, again, some of that we have to be more active in our shift opportunities. We have to just keep that activity going. Like you said, one turnover in the fourth. We just have to be more active in that and have to be able to make more plays in that.
Joe, what did you see at both ends of the floor from that 3-guard lineup with Anthony, Peyton, and Derrick tonight?
Good speed, good pace. I thought we really generated a lot of cross matches when they were able to get out there. I thought they both did a good job of finding opportunities for themselves, but also creating. I think as they start to understand spacing and learning there, I think at the end we just had a miscommunication on a late game action, but that's just them having an understanding of that. But I like the pace that they play with, like the spacing that they had, and having 3 guys that can attack the paint and penetrate and finish or kick is it's going to be good for us.
Final couple questions, Zach. Were you encouraged with what you saw from Yemi today?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got it in him to be good for us, and he did some really good things. The standard's high for him. I thought he answered the call, and he just has to continue to get better and better.
And then Xavier Tillman also played a significant role in the front court. What did you kind of make of his performance?
Yeah, I mean, his defense, his ability to defend, and when they went zone, he set some good screens for us, got us some advantages on the offensive end, had some good possessions, on Embiid. And, when he's open, he's just got to have the confidence to continue to shoot it. Thank you.
Derrick, talk about VJ's performance tonight.
For a rookie to come in, first game and put up, it was impressive. I don't know if I've ever seen someone have that in their debut, but he had a really good game.
Derrick, you guys gave up, or you only allowed 18 in the third quarter, 42 for them in the fourth quarter. What changed from one quarter to another for you guys?
I think obviously they made some shots there in the fourth quarter, but our activity in the third quarter is kind of how we have to play for 48 minutes. So we got to try to find whatever we did in that third quarter for 48 minutes, but obviously you see what we did wrong in the fourth there, because that's a lot of points.
Derrick, just over here on that final possession, neither you or Jaylen could get the ball there. Did you guys though get the looks that you wanted those two times, or did Philadelphia defend that in a way where you couldn't execute the play you're trying to execute?
Yeah, we're trying to get to JB. I think they did a good job of kind of denying him, and then P came to the ball, and then we obviously trust P in those situations a lot. So, I wouldn't change much.
Derrick, you've got different guys in different roles and guys in expanded roles. In those last few minutes, do you have to play through some of those, to experience some of those for some of the guys on the floor to get to a point where everybody kind of knows what they're supposed to do and who they're supposed to be in those scenarios?
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to duplicate that in practice. And so I feel like the last couple of years we knew exactly what we were trying to get to, and so it's going to be a little bit different this year. And so, it'd be good to learn from this game and see what we did well, what we didn't do well, and kind of what actions we want to get into. So, the best way to learn from it is to go through it. So there'd be a lot that we can learn from.
Derrick, along those same lines, how did you feel out there with the new guys? You guys haven't really been tested in the preseason. Now, Maxey and Edgecombe, those are the two best players that you faced so far. So getting that test, how do you feel like you guys did with all the new players that you have?
I thought we did good. Obviously, until the fourth quarter, and they made that run. But for the most part, we competed at a high level. And obviously, it's the first game, and we got to learn a lot from it. Like you said, like preseason, we didn't really face the starters for the most part. So it's the first game for everybody. So I know they're going to get a lot better, and we got to get a lot better too.
Derrick, what got you going in the third quarter?
Finally make a wide open shot. I felt like I was getting really good looks most of the game, and I just was missing them. And then finally made a couple. So that's probably the biggest difference.
And then the Nimi on that short roll, how much has he improved there, and how big was he for you guys tonight?
He was great. Just being available, obviously a big target. Has soft touch around the hoop as well. So he did a lot of things out there for us and competed at a high level. And so that's a Nimi you're going to need the whole year.
Derrick, on that loose ball foul on Oubre, it looked like you hit the ball and the ball hit Oubre in the head. Did you make contact, or did you think about maybe trying to get Joe to challenge that?
I don't know. I trust Joe. I trust Matt. So obviously they thought I fouled him. Just trying to go make a play. Obviously, pretty mad about missing the shot, first of all. And it turns into like a 5-point swing right there. But I trust them completely, and they obviously thought I fouled them, so it's a tough play.
And how do you kind of get the offense in the last 4 or 5 minutes more at a better pace than kind of you had tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the tough part. You want to keep that pace that you had for the first 45 minutes, but you also got to execute and know those possessions are valuable. And so just try to get pace into the set. Kind of think a couple of possessions we kind of were like looking to see what we were trying to do. But that would just come with more reps of what we trying to do, how we want to execute on this possession. And but yeah, pace to get into it definitely gives us more options for multiple actions.
Jaylen, they got 42 points in the fourth quarter. You guys had a nice defensive quarter and third. What happened? What did you notice from you guys defensively that changed from the third to the fourth?
I think just tendencies. We let Maxey get going, and we got to do a better job, especially on one of their better players on the floor. Got to be more attention to detail on him. We let him kind of play free a little bit, where somebody got to, make sure we can't let that happen. I don't know if we was too focused on the offensive end, but we can't just let guys come in here and just do what they want.
It felt like your guys' pace in the third helped your defense as well. Did you notice any difference in that specifically in the fourth that could have affected things, or was it mainly just the tendencies, like you said?
So what's the question?
If your guys' offensive pace in the third quarter, it felt like it helped you guys get back because they were always having to take the ball out because you guys were making the shots and playing fast. Did you notice, your pace slow down at all in the fourth quarter, and do you think that had any impact on the defense?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I got to watch. I thought we had a good pace in the third quarter. We came up from the half, running to get up and down, make or miss, get the ball out, play with pace. Fourth quarter, maybe, we slowed down a little bit. Maybe it was a little fatigue. I don't know, first game, but we definitely want to keep our pace in the fourth quarter. I'm one of the believers that, fourth quarter, I know everybody thinks you got to slow down and everything, but why? We can keep playing fast. So we just turned the ball over too much, I think, in the fourth. That was the difference. If you're playing like that, you still got to take care of the ball. So,
Jaylen over here. Derrick was saying that the last play was designed to go to you. Obviously, they couldn't get you the touch there. Just sort of, how frustrating is that to not have that opportunity at the end?
It's tough. It's tough. Definitely a winnable game for us. We had some opportunities. Even at the end, we had some opportunities that didn't go our way. It's a learning experience. This whole, is going to be a learning experience from day one. We got a bunch of new guys. We're playing a new style. I thought we played hard today. I thought I played a winnable game. We just, some crucial errors that cost us, but I'm looking forward to watching film and learning and staying with the journey. But, that happens. We got a new group that's still figuring things out. Some of these other teams and stuff have played together for a little bit more, so there's going to be some ups and downs. But I'm looking forward to just learning every day with the group, and I'm looking forward to when we get to that point where we catch our win, what that could possibly be.
And just how did you feel physically? I saw when you were on the bench that you were, kind of stretching out a little bit and doing stuff. How was the hamstring? Did you feel like you had full explosiveness?
It was fine. I thought it held up well. Definitely got to do some recovery within the first 2 weeks. Coming back from a strain, you got to make sure that you get your recovery in, because that's when the risk is at its highest. So I'm just make sure I'm focusing on my body, getting my rest, doing my recovery, and getting ready for the next game.
Jaylen, you just talked about all the new guys, and we've talked a lot about getting everybody together on the same page. Meanwhile, you're in a winnable game. You have your skill set, Derrick's skill set. Where's the balance of trying to work it together, trying to get everybody together on the same page, closing out the way in a style that you guys want to play, versus I can take over here and kind of break from maybe a little bit of what you're trying to do? Is there a balance there? Is there a decision to be made there?
Maybe. Every game is going to be different. So you just got to, I guess, get a feel for it as we continue to go on. But I like the shots that we got all game. We didn't shoot the ball particularly well. And in the fourth quarter, same thing. But, I believe in my guys. We had a lot of open looks right on the numbers, and we missed them. So we looking forward to that, shooting with confidence, and we looking forward to the next one. But it happens. But it is a balance, but we'll figure out more as the season goes on.
Jaylen, you talked a lot at training camp about the characteristics you want this team to have, to be the harder playing team, to be the smarter team, to be physical. How would you evaluate, regardless of like the late game execution, how would you evaluate the identity that you guys had in this game? Do you feel like it was kind of on the marker for where you want to be?
Not bad, but not good enough. Gave up too many rebounds, and we played really, I thought the third quarter, we played with that edge that we're looking for, but we got to maintain that for 4 quarters. From the rebounding standpoint, I think that's the part where we gotta really 5 guys rebounding. A bunch of balls bounce over our head and things like that, but it's a 50-50 ball every time the shot goes up. Who won it the most? And I got to get in there and get more engaged, but we got to do better on the glass. I think the offensive rebounds, we didn't have enough, and they had a decent amount, so we got to do better.
Jaylen, for the last 10 years, you've played knowing that you have a chance to win every night. Is this team have to kind of, with building without Jayson and just with so many new guys, do you kind of have to get a new confidence? Like, do you have to kind of feel better about yourselves or good about yourselves again because there's just so many new guys, you don't know what to expect? Is that got to be rebuilt? This season is not going to happen now, but does it have to be built?
Yeah, we've been building it. We've been building it in training camp. And obviously, first game, very winnable game once again. And we'll learn from this. We'll learn how to close. We'll learn how to, spots where we could be better. And that's what it's about. I'm not looking for my guys to hang our head whatsoever. We just get ready for the next one. Going on the road for the first time, it's going to be a good test for our group. Being consistent, for a young player is the testament of what the NBA is about. So being able to be consistent, being able to get guys going on the road and being able to find ways to win is ultimately what it's going to come down to. So I'm looking forward to see what we're made of, and we're going to continue to learn and get better as the season goes on.
Jaylen, Joe mentioned you started on Embiid defensively. Was that something you asked for, and is that something that you would like to do in setting the tone?
Yeah, going over the last 2 years, I would guard pretty much the best player night in and night out. I would start on. No different from now.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm going harder where I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. The city over here, feeling fun.